Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Monday Morning Grit.
Yeah, glad to have you. It's been chilly lately.
Oh my goodness, it snowed like twice this week. I wasn't expecting it. I knew it was a cold snap. We prepared y'all for a cold snap last week, but
yeah, but
it's really preventing me from pressure washing the moss off my roof.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
That's okay. I needed the excuse.
At least there hasn't been much accumulation. At least not in our area. Did you see how bad Portland got it?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it hasn't really been sticking around too much, except for when you have like a big tree or a big building that casts a shadow.
Yeah, right, or one side of your roof.
Yeah. So, how was your week?
It was pretty good. I got a couple Tacoma things in.
Mm-hmm.
One of them being I went down to the B&I and got this giant sweatshirt or hoodie. Yeah, it's a 6XL. It's ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous, but it is very warm. It keeps the heat in.
Oh, I'll bet.
Great. It's like wearing 5 articles of clothing at once.
Yeah.
But it's really loose, so you can move around still.
I mean, I just can't imagine a person that's big enough that fits well on.
Yeah, you would need a giant head.
Yeah.
The hood is ridiculous.
You could probably fit a beach ball in there.
Yeah, I could fit a pumpkin on top of my head and it would still fit inside this hoodie.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. You're swimming in it.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice thing. Yeah, there's not a lot of places you can find a 6X, but shout out to the B&I.
Yeah, no, there aren't. I'm surprised that they had it there. Do they just have a store that has any size you could think of?
All up to 6X, I suppose.
I guess so. You did a show in Woodinville too.
I did do a show in Woodinville at one of those Woodinville wineries.
Yep.
Apparently, there's 150 wineries in the city of Woodinville.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they're most of them are in a 5-mile radius.
How many buildings are in Woodinville, period? I don't think it's a very big...
Well, imagine an office park, but every office building is a winery. Yeah, that's Woodinville.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I might have to check it out then.
Yeah, well, if you like wine, there's lots of them.
I think they have whiskey, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The Woodinville Whiskey Company. I like that one.
Yeah, I got to check that out. But, yeah, I hosted at Tacoma Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah, Monday. That's right, on Monday.
Yep, that was fun.
Yeah, you had all new material. I liked it.
Yeah, really.
Talking about mattresses.
Yeah. Just trying to come up with some new stuff and maybe reinvent myself a little here. Trying to get longer sets, longer bits.
Yeah, so you can go out into the big world.
Yeah, for sure. And then open mic at Craft Beers. Which that was fun, and I got some beer. I was actually going to bring it today, but
yeah, that's all right.
Duty calls.
Yeah, right. You got to get to the Sounders game tonight.
Yeah. But
opening day is we'll probably get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to right now. You're on the Sounders game the Sounders had their opening day on Sunday. What is the day?
It's Sunday.
No. I mean, what is it called? The first
opening day.
They call it opening day. Yeah. So you had your opening day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is cool. You're a big soccer guy. I wouldn't have even known.
Right.
I feel like it doesn't permeate my media.
Yeah. It's sort of compartmentalized in its own thing. I feel like it's. I mean, you can catch it on, it's on ESPN and FS1, but if you don't watch those channels very often, then you never see it.
Yeah, well, and it seems, I guess it's a spring sport, so the beginning of spring, is that why it starts right now?
No, so it has a long season because there's breaks for international play and stuff like that. So the season starts in February, and then, the MLS Cup isn't until December.
That's a long season.
It's a very long season.
So they really just get a month and a half off.
Yeah, pretty much. And even with that, the Sounders played in the Club World Cup, a few weeks ago. So, they're always playing.
It's not like football where the Super Bowl ends and you got to wait till September again.
Yeah. Well, I guess nowadays you can watch XFL,
That's
USFL.
True. there was the first, or I guess now they've had two of the whatever Sea Dragon games.
Yeah, I think they lost at their first home one against the what are the is that the St. Louis team?
Yeah,
it's
I
like
don't know. I don't know any of the names yet.
It's some sort of eagle.
Oh, like a certain kind of eagle, like a golden eagle?
No, it's like some made-up name, like a warrior eagle or something like that, or I don't know. It's
should have been the elephants.
Yeah. What if they called them the Rams?
Rams would be good. That'd be fun.
St. Louis Rams.
Take it back.
We're bringing it back. But yeah, the beer at Craft Beers, it was from Bellingham anyway, so outside of our normal.
Oh yeah.
But I know
I used to live in Bellingham.
Yeah, I know
they
you
got a lot
some
of great
attachment to Bellingham.
They got a lot of great breweries up there.
Yeah. So
Boundary Bay.
you want to give us a little update on the Anderson Island situation?
Oh yeah. So my parents have a beach house on Anderson Island to go to on weekends, and my dad was there this weekend. The ferry, I guess, like the generator broke, and the backup ferry was already broken, and they couldn't figure out how to get the new generator strapped to the old one. And so everyone on the island was stuck there for like 2 days.
That's crazy.
Supposedly it's back and better, but still precarious. I don't know if I'd go to the island anytime soon.
Yeah, I also my
dad was gonna just like take our little 20-foot Livingston across the bay and try to find a place to moor it.
Of all the weekends to get stranded on Anderson Island, this might have been one of the coldest weekends.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're just lucky they didn't lose power too.
Yeah, for sure. I got a new camera.
Oh, that's big news.
Yeah, Sony Alpha 7 III. Pretty excited about it.
So now you'll be able to really get those good photos of the trains. So everyone should follow Warren on his Instagram.
Yeah.
What is it, Warren?
Warren Robertson 253.
253.
Yeah,
there
if
we
you
go.
like train pictures. Sometimes I put other things on there, but it's mostly
Train-related.
railroad photography. But yep, got a new camera. Pretty excited about it. And the first train I really caught with it was this one. It's Union Pacific 1979. I'll probably post it later. It'll be really nice.
Is it a rare train?
Yeah, it's one of a kind. It's called the We Are One train, and it's got this really cool, the base colors are black and white. And then, it's just got a big, We Are One, and it's very, colorful. It's really cool. And it was painted only, a year or two ago, so it still looks really fresh. Yeah.
Is it very often that you'll see a one-of-a-kind train?
No, not very often. February's just been a particularly lucky month.
So you might have used all your one-of-a-kinds for the year.
I've run out. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm lucky, but maybe, I don't like to think that luck runs out. It's statistically speaking,
It averages out.
Yeah. Yeah, but
so you got any train spot? So do you plan out in your week? Oh, this train's gonna be in town.
No, not normally. Sometimes if it's something really special, but it's usually the day of. I'll see what was spotted or what they expect to come through. Chehalis has a community of people that track the trains that are supposed to go through for that day.
Okay.
So I'll check the train sheet that they post. And if there's anything I like, it takes them about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get up here to Tacoma. So.
Oh, okay. So that's just enough time to get your camera ready.
Yep, for sure.
Where do they post it?
There's a YouTube video or channel. It's a live stream. It's a live stream by Virtual Rail Fan, and it's the Chehalis live stream. They have a video camera set up at a crossing by the Lewis County Museum.
Okay.
But in the video description, there's a link to a Google whatever Google's equivalent of Excel is.
Okay.
And it tracks all of the trains that are coming through the crossing during the day.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So it's a YouTube channel.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's fun when communities build around different, you find it because you're interested and you look it up on YouTube and you're like, wait a second here. There's more people interested in this than I thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many views do those live streams get?
At any time, there's probably 50 or 60 people watching it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. So it's and like it's a whole network, so it's like it belongs to like the virtual Railfan network, and they probably have like 30 or 40 live streams set up across the country. And
Interesting.
And some in Canada too.
Are there any other ones in Washington, or is that the main Washington one?
There's one in Skykomish.
Okay.
And I think we might get one in Olympia.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it just a guy with a camera? Or is it part of the government system?
No. So what they do is somebody will go up to like their network virtual Railfan, and they'll be like, "Hey, I want to sponsor a camera." So in our case, for Chehalis, the Lewis County Historical Museum was like, "We'll sponsor a camera." So there's like an actual like HD camera that like can pan and zoom and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And it just waits for the trains to come, and then there's people within the network, they call them like virtual station attendants, but they'll like pan the camera depending on what direction the train's coming from.
So that's like a volunteer position or something like that.
Yeah, it
where
is.
You can join in,
Mm-hmm.
help everybody out.
Yep, for sure. And they also will take like the highlights from all the cameras from the day.
Oh yeah,
and put it
and make
into
like a best of the day.
Yeah, they call it the grab bag.
Ah,
And those are fun to watch. You know, if you want to watch just the good parts.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
You see some cool stuff on there.
So like in a day, how long is the good parts?
I would say anywhere between 15 minutes to 35 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you get some really wild stuff happening, like, you know, a car getting hit by a train or something like that, or
a derailment,
or like, you know, a derailment, or like a car disconnecting from a train and just going off on its own.
I bet that happens.
Yeah. Yep. But it's cool to check out if you're ever interested, or sometimes I just put it on as background noise.
Oh yeah, it's good, just something moving around with a nice picture to it.
Yeah, some sound in the background. You know, if I'm like working on something on my computer on the other monitor, I'll just have that running and see if there's anything cool going on.
I like that with when you have a multi-monitor system, to just have something, you know, whether it's like a Planet Earth type documentary thing, or I used to do driving videos where it'd be a city I'd never been to.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of really good like 4K driving videos.
Wow. I wonder how they do that. I wonder if they like set up like a gimbal on their car and mount a camera.
It's usually it's like a dashboard cam.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Kind of want to make one for
you
Tacoma.
See what it's like to, you know, drive around Mumbai, or
wow.
You know.
Yeah.
Lesotho.
Yeah, that makes me want to make one for Tacoma now.
Yeah, well, cameras are getting cheaper too.
They are. Except for this one. This one
exactly.
was not
They're getting
cheap.
cheaper and more expensive at the same time.
Yeah, I think there's certain like camera components that are in a bit of a shortage too, which doesn't help. Oh yeah,
supply chain.
Like I bought like the particular lens I bought was the last one they had at the Best Buy. So, you know, I consider myself a little lucky.
There you go, right place, right time.
Yep, for sure. I got an interesting bit of Tacoma news.
Oh, yeah? What do you got?
The city of Tacoma is partnering with this startup called Mill.
Okay.
And Mill makes these specialized bins where you put food waste into them. It dries and crumbles the food waste, and then you send it back to Mill, and they process it into chicken feed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a compost, but more specific.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, compost, typically we're turning it into soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this, with this specialized bin, you're turning it into, like, chicken feed pellets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So any kind of food?
Any kind of food waste, from what I've been told, they'll turn it into chicken pellets.
So would you get an extra bin?
I think, I'm not entirely sure how Tacoma plans on rolling it out, but I think the city's getting 600 bins, so I wonder if they're going to put them in, like, public spaces, like, you know how, like, you have the trash can, the recycling bin, and then, like, compostables bin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do that.
Just have a big one.
Yeah, like, you know, like maybe
just think
parks.
Yeah, if you're a restaurant or something like that.
Or,
those
yeah,
kind of
exactly.
places could really contribute.
Because I think, like, 28% of all waste from Tacoma is food waste.
I'd believe it. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So I think it's definitely interesting that Tacoma's the first city like doing this partnership.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're getting 600 bins. So
no one's ever done this before?
I'm sure people have tried it, like maybe on a smaller scale, but this is an actual like municipal city government partnering
awesome.
with this sponsorship. So
I think that's great.
yeah,
When I look at my garbage, most of it's probably recycling. And then after that, definitely food waste is really high up there.
yeah, big time. So it'll be interesting to see how this pilot program works out.
Yeah,
But
that would be great.
hopefully it's successful.
Yeah, it would be good in a lot of environmental ways, and I wonder. I mean, I guess maybe it'll make cheaper chickens too.
Hopefully, I mean, I think hopefully it should make the chicken feed easier. Bit more affordable.
Sometimes I think about those $5 Costco rotisserie chickens, and you're like, okay, well, if it costs $5, then that means there are less than $5 worth of inputs,
Yeah,
less than $5 worth of food for your whole life.
that's crazy. I mean, that's like I think Macy and I were telling you go to Safeway, you can get a 250-piece party pack, like 125 like thighs and 125 drumsticks for like $217.
Whew,
Yeah,
that's a deal.
that's a steal right there.
Yeah,
I mean, chicken is just so cheap.
we really figured out how to automate it.
Even amidst all the cullings because of the bird flu.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it is weird. Well, the egg prices have gone up, but the chicken prices haven't seen quite the same hit.
No, not significantly. And I've noticed even at like restaurants and stuff, like I don't know if it's because of their like, they source eggs in bulk or something like that, but a lot of dishes that use eggs, like breakfast food, stuff like that, I haven't really seen many price adjustments.
Yeah, well, the thing is also like eggs, the cost of a quarter.
Yeah.
And then now they cost
50
cents.
Yeah.
It's not that huge when you're thinking you're making a 5-egg omelet.
No, especially if I'm charging, $15 for that omelet.
Yeah, exactly.
But it reminds me that with this pilot program, chickens will eat just about anything.
Oh, yeah.
They'll even eat each other.
Oh, they're cannibals?
They can.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. It's not like you'd separate out the chicken food waste.
No, you wouldn't. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people think like, oh, they just eat seeds or stuff. They eat bugs, worms.
Oh, yeah, bugs for sure.
Whatever. But yeah, chickens will eat each other.
Yeah, I wonder if I guess they might not be susceptible to the same kind of mad cow disease. There's no like mad chicken disease.
Not that I'm aware of, and I think with like chickens,
but that's mostly from eating brains, though,
yeah.
Right? We're not going to be sending chicken brains back to the
I don't think
pellet
so.
factory.
I don't think so. But maybe we'll discover through the pilot program. It's like, okay, who put chicken brains in their bin?
Yeah, right.
Please do not put chicken brains in your bin.
Yeah, you're ruining the supply.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's a great piece of Tacoma news.
Yes, so maybe you'll see them out there in the wild coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah, maybe we'll even get some bins.
Yep. Also, sort of like around agriculture, there's a bill in the Washington State Legislature that would make it ban foreign entities from owning like agricultural land in the state. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, so like ranch land, farms,
Is that to prevent Chinese investors?
Commercial timber. I think that's part of. I think that's mostly why there's a lot of worry about sort of the Chinese encroaching on like certain real estate markets and business.
Sure. I mean, look what happened to Vancouver.
Exactly. But with that being said, the biggest foreign holders of agricultural land in the United States is Canada.
Oh.
China, less than 1%.
Interesting.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. And I'm wondering if maybe, like, there wasn't any sign of, like, Chinese firms buying all this land, but people looked at the real estate market in Canada and maybe got a little concerned, especially when we're talking about things like water rights.
Yes. That Chinese, I'm still advocating to free Tibet over water rights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. That's why they weren't free, is because the Tibet is the water source for most of mainland China.
That's wild.
Yeah, it comes down the Himalayan mountains.
Okay.
So if you control the source of the water, then you have a little bit more safety in your agriculture.
That makes a lot of sense.
But, the Tibetans don't like that.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't want to belong to the People's Republic of China.
No, I'd rather be Tibetan.
Yeah. Which, I wonder if we're going to see some anxieties about water security and water rights eased a bit due to if you look at how much rain California got, we're starting to see, water levels go up and.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they're going up.
Yeah, I
heard they were all going down.
Well, we've gotten some relief, right, from the
relief.
bomb cyclone, and there's been a pretty good snowpack. And
so this year we're looking okay.
Yeah, this year we're looking better. Hopefully, things will continue to improve, but
it seems unlikely though, because our usage keeps going up.
I think
the Colorado River doesn't make it all the way to the Rio Grande anymore.
I think, and the biggest culprit in that is I'm pretty sure is California, because the way water rights work is California, because it's the breadbasket, gets priority in water usage.
Yeah.
But I feel like states, down the line from California, particularly Arizona or Nevada, have actually gotten pretty good about water conservation.
Oh, that's good.
Las Vegas, I would, I think it's something like 90% of the water is recycled.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think really it's California is probably going to have a long, tough conversation about water security.
Oh, yeah. Well, you ever watch that movie Chinatown?
Yeah. Yep.
That's my favorite part of that movie, is it's all about the water rights.
Yeah.
L.A. or whatever.
Yeah.
That there was a guy who owned all the water rights to L.A.
Yep.
and then just gifted them to the city. Man, that guy's kids are probably upset about that.
Yeah. Did you know Los Angeles used to flood?
I can believe it.
Yeah.
That's why they got those big
yeah. That's why the L.A. river's encased in concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But anyways, bringing it back to Washington, I feel like in Western Washington, we too, even during the summer, it's we've been running into drought conditions. At least last year it was
totally.
Yeah, it was pretty dry. And I'm hoping, I don't know, it's been a pretty dry winter too. At least, has it felt that way to you?
Yeah, I guess you're right now that I look back on it.
Yeah. I'm hoping
cold.
Yeah, cold, but kind of dry.
Yeah.
Although I wonder if it'll be like last year, where we're in for a very wet spring.
I think it might be the case.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got our sump pump installed.
Yeah.
I got to finish digging the trench.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the water, the water table doesn't fill up.
Was that
has a place to go?
Was that last spring you had the flooding?
Yeah, we did. The basement got flooded.
That's rough, man.
Yep. But now we're good to go. We got a nice pump.
But yeah, this so the bill in the state legislature is actually meeting a lot of opposition from players within the agricultural industry.
That makes sense.
Well, I think it's because there are plenty of foreign-held companies that interact with the food or timber.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or ranching supply chain, and I think there's worry that we could cause more insecurity by barring foreign firms from participating in that market.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to set there's so many international companies that are mixing and matching that.
And it's
a strict line to draw.
We're close with the Canadians, right? It would suck to bar Canadians from investing in U.S. land and agriculture just because we don't want the Chinese to have it, which historically have not been involved in American agriculture.
Yeah, well, I think there's just kind of a general um, worry about foreign investment. I mean, I remember when they were rebuilding the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, my dad said there was a Canadian company that offered to build it for free if they allowed us to put, or if we allowed them to put hydroelectric turbines underneath the bridge, because the current going back and forth is significant enough they could draw pretty significant power from it. And we just turned them down. We didn't even do it.
We might have to, anyways. I think we lose our operating rights on one of the big dams over on the peninsula that powers a ton of Tacoma. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
I think you probably had to install it when the bridge was being built, but
clock is ticking.
Know. Yeah. Well, hopefully all these solar panels that they're giving us tax credits for will make a dent.
Do you think that's like legit?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the number of people I know who has started working for solar panel companies in the last 3 years, pretty significant.
Oh, yeah, because I feel like I keep seeing the ads on YouTube, but sometimes I feel like it's a little too good to be true.
No, the tax credits in this area, they're real. And my brother was going to get it last year, but instead the basement flooded. So.
Do you know if like TPU or PSE does like net metering where they'll pay you back for energy you've generated?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because like I've heard mostly good things from people who have installed like solar panels on their homes, but I've heard like some of the newer companies that have popped up, some of them are a bit sketchier.
Yeah, they're just trying to take advantage of the tax credit a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I had an environmental science professor when I was in high school who put solar panels on our high school, and he had some on his own house, and the amount of time it takes to pay him back is really how you calculate whether they're worth it or not.
Right.
And I think it used to be like a 10-year payback cycle.
Really?
And now it's like 5 to 8.
Okay, well that probably helps a lot, because I think the average American only spends like 5 years in a house.
Well, but it also helps the resale value of
sure.
So not only does it pay for itself, but then you have additional infrastructure in your domicile.
I heard this story of somebody they went with one of those new like solar companies that popped up, and they installed the solar panels on the roof, but in their county you need to have a building permit to put like solar panels on your roof.
Okay.
So it was all done and everything, and then the county was like, you can't hook that up.
Wow. That's a little annoying.
Yeah, it is. You'd think like the contractor would have done their research.
Yeah, would have had some experience in that.
And then there was another one where it was like, they were like, oh yeah, you'll get paid back for net metering, and then it turns out the utility company didn't actually offer net metering. So it was like...
Some places, like, it's definitely, I've heard different things. Some places they do the net metering, and some you just get a battery pack.
Yeah.
And then it fills that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if it's always the same thing. But
yeah.
I think it's more of like whether or not you have the machine to calculate it.
I feel like the battery pack would be big around here. When,
because you're only getting your energy half the time.
Yeah, especially because like I would say during certain times of the year we're sunlight insecure. That was one of those paper towel rolls that
I was trying to throw it in
James
the
was trying to get in the
there.
recycling. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, if I get a home of my own, which I'm planning on pretty soon, it might be something I look into.
Oh yeah.
With how windy it's been lately, I might as well get a wind turbine out there, man.
That's actually an interesting idea. I think they're pretty easy to build.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, even just to power, like, something simple, like...
Yeah, big light.
Yeah, something like that. Be a pretty cool little experiment.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one. And I think the tax credits will probably last for a few years, too.
I think so, too. I mean, I don't see any reason for them to be lifted, especially, like, when we're talking about the electrification of vehicles. It's only going to put more demand on the grid. So, if anything, the government, I feel like, would be pushing more incentives for people to either become more energy independent or to put more energy back into the grid.
Totally.
So we'll see.
We will see.
We will see. One other thing I had was there's actually going to be a. So you know how like the Puyallup Fairgrounds used to be like a Japanese internment camp?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the funding has been secured to build like sort of a remembrance hall there.
Oh, that's great.
That's
surprising we haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
That's great news. I think about that all the time.
It seems like something that they should have done a long time ago, and I'm not sure what sort of obstacles there were, like, preventing
if they've just
that.
been trying to ignore it. But, I remember my grandfather telling me about that.
But, so the funding's been secured, so in the next few years we might see...
a significant new monument?
Yeah, right on the fairgrounds.
Well, we might have to include that in our monument section.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do it. I think it's easy to forget that happened there because it's like just such a place of fun and
it's where the fair
merriment,
is, and the pigs and
like,
the dogs,
and there's no indicator by there whatsoever that it was ever a Japanese internment camp.
Yeah.
So it's I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out.
Yeah, me too. I love a good monument.
Yeah, I can't remember who were some of the bigger backers of it because I read that article probably like a week ago. But
I don't know, probably Jay Ingsley.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's like a couple local companies and stuff, like maybe like a local bank, like BECU or something like that.
No, I'm actually trying to remember the Japanese guy we used to have as governor. What's his name? Can't remember.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's, I feel like with Inslee, it's just like, it's been one governor for so long.
Yeah, right. I can see his face so clearly.
It's really odd to me coming to Washington, like, from Virginia, because Virginia, you can't serve consecutive terms as governor.
Oh, really?
Yep. So you have to, like, serve your term, wait one, and then come back into the election if you wanna be a governor again.
Interesting. So they just cycle back and forth? There's like two.
No, actually, I think the thing is like incumbents have so much, such a big advantage.
Well, they have the what is it, patronage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where they can send free mail.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I always thought that was silly.
That is kind of silly, but
like if you're the incumbent, you get mail for free, so that means you get to advertise for your campaign. Not that mail is the primary form of advertising anymore, but
yeah. But yeah, in Virginia, there's no incumbent advantage for governor because there's no consecutive terms. Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Yeah, so just some
Gary Locke.
Gary Locke.
Yeah, shout out Gary Locke.
Just some food for thought if you don't like having the same governor for too long.
Head out Virginia way.
Yeah, it does create some issues, I can imagine, where like if this particular governor has like a vision of what they want to do, and it's going to take a little bit more than 4 years, you better hope the other party doesn't win.
Continuity is very important.
Yeah, but yeah, so speaking of landmarks or monuments or points of interest, did you want to...
Yeah, so we were thinking of a good one for this week, and I live pretty close to the University of Puget Sound, so I thought maybe we could do that as a landmark.
Yeah.
It's in the...
Bless you.
It's Proctor District, the 6th District, 6th Street District.
6th Avenue?
6th Avenue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I go there all the time because their square, their like giant courtyard is really very nicely kept up, and the grass is really nice, and I think it's like 10,000 square feet.
Oh wow,
which is pretty big, and all the old style buildings. They got a really nice big library with I think it's like 500,000 books in that library.
Wow, which
is pretty impressive for a library that's 4 blocks down the street.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things about UPS is that they're the Loggers.
I like that too.
It's a great mascot name.
Yeah.
Which there's so many lame mascots or lame things that aren't associated with your area,
Oh,
but
yeah.
loggers is great. It's almost as good as banana slugs.
Or gooey ducks.
Gooey ducks. Yeah.
Gooey ducks is a good one.
Gooey ducks is great.
I guess Washington, I feel like for the most part, like the mascots match like the local area.
Yeah, we do a good job with the Mariners and the Kraken and the
Yeah.
Seahawks, I guess.
Sounders.
What's a sounder?
Someone that lives by the sound.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking somebody who makes sound.
No.
Sounders, yeah. That makes
Puget
sense.
Sound.
Puget
We got
Sound.
the Huskies.
Huskies, yeah. That's the Cougars is a little bit
The Cougars is better in terms of like local
yeah, animals.
wildlife, flora and fauna.
Mm-hmm.
Can't think of any really. You know what PLU is? Go Lutherans!
Oh.
That would be funny if that's what it was.
That's funny. Well, I actually learned as I was reading up a little bit about University of Puget Sound is that they had a few campuses over the years, and for a period they were actually combined with the University of Portland.
Really?
Yeah, they combined campuses and like worked together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
which I thought it was a little strange. I'd never heard of that before.
Yeah.
But then they got their campus here and it started from just a small school of 88 students, and now they got like, I think it was 24 or 4,000.
Okay.
It's like 2,000 to 4,000. I can't remember the number.
It's kind of tucked away, I feel like.
It is.
Like, I lived in Tacoma for 3 years before I even knew it was here.
Yeah, well, it's it has like nice greenery around the outside, and you'd just think it was a big park, or you'd just think it was it doesn't have like the classic Greek. Well, it's got kind of a Greek row where you can see the Greek letters on the big buildings if you're paying attention to them. But yeah, it's not. It's funny. I used to say, I live by UPS, and people would just think that I live by the shipping
UPS
company.
store. Yeah. Is it a private or a public university?
Yeah, it's private.
Yeah.
I think it's Methodist.
Okay. It kind of reminds me of where I used to live. I live near this town called Ashland, Virginia.
Okay.
And they have a privately held, like, older school there called Randolph-Macon.
Okay.
And really nice, well-kept grounds and facilities and these beautiful brick buildings. And UPS kind of reminds me of it.
Hmm. Yeah, there's something about like schools that were made in a certain era that they just have like a not like a regalness to them, but maybe a little more pomp and circumstance when you're walking through the hallowed grounds.
For sure. I don't run into UPS students very often, though.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I feel like
you
I
mean
see
like
'em-
in Tacoma they don't stick around.
I feel like I see them at Bob's Java Jive.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like I don't know what other places. I mean,
I see them around just because I live so close.
yeah, they might blend in pretty well too.
Mhm.
But like sometimes I feel like the ones I see at Bob's Java Jive are the most hipster of the hipsters, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like those guys have to be.
They don't have like a, if you're a husky, you got the big purple sweater with a W on it.
Yeah.
There isn't really a go-to article of clothing that I've seen from the loggers.
No, I have seen like businesses will have like discounts if like a UPS student shows their ID or something like that.
Oh,
Or
that's good.
They might have like a loggers pennant on the wall. I wonder what sports they have.
They got a lot of sports actually.
We should go to.
Sometimes I'll walk by and they'll be practicing football or running track, or I actually saw something that they like. I don't know what division they're in, but they have really strong. Like I was looking at their accolades on Wikipedia, and like their cross country team won 4 years in a row.
Wow.
Whatever division they're in. Or
Yeah.
things like that.
We should go to a loggers sporting event just for the hell of it.
Oh yeah. Well, sometimes I'll hear the crowd noise
Okay. Huh.
in the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe go catch a football game or something. one of
Yeah,
these days.
exactly. Go watch the track events.
Yeah, that might be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I always like watching like the pole vault and the
Oh yeah,
the
the
javelin throw.
steeplechase.
steeplechase. I don't know if they do steeplechase.
Oh, do they do shot put?
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
They got the shot put. I walked out. I like walking in the shot put.
Mm-hmm.
And go onto the field.
Yeah. Have you ever?
Throw on the shot put?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
No.
the spin is hard.
They the army trains you to sort of throw hand grenades like that too, not with like
really?
the
With a
full
push rather
spin.
than
yeah,
with
with
a-
the push rather than.
Huh. Is that because they're heavy?
I think they're actually not that heavy. I mean, they're designed to basically be like a baseball.
Uh-huh.
The problem is when a lot of people who aren't really like good throwers
Mm-hmm.
try throwing it like it's a baseball, a lot of times they'll accidentally throw it like right down in front of them.
Oh,
So that's why
released
they
too
tell
late.
you to push. So
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to throw a grenade at your feet,
yeah, no, that wouldn't be a good idea.
or let go of it too early and it like goes straight up.
Yeah. So, yeah, some people are really not good at throwing. I think we sort of took that for granted when we made the grenades just like baseballs.
Mm.
Some people have never thrown a baseball before.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's funny, like the different techniques or like the different positions you can be in, like crouched or like laying down. It's like it was like on your back, and then you sort of like throw like heave it like a catapult.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
they're fun.
Throwing grenades.
Yeah, throwing grenades.
I can
is fun.
imagine.
Yeah, but yeah.
So you got any Tacoma-related things coming up this week?
Let me think about that. I didn't really look at my schedule too much.
Yeah, I know. I think there's just a couple of open mics at the Tacoma Club. Well, there's Chandler's new mic.
Oh, yeah.
On Monday at the Broken Spoke. We'll
Yep.
promote that. And then I think it's is it Tuesday and Wednesday this week at the Tacoma Club, or is it Monday, Tuesday?
I want to say it's Tuesday and Wednesday, but
Okay, that's good.
I'm not 100%.
Well, that sounds like we got our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday covered.
Pro tip for anyone going to Broken Spoke: you can bring your own food because they don't really have food there unless you want like a bag of chips or
Yeah.
something. You can get that. They got like bar snacks, but if you want like a meal, bring it yourself.
That's good advice. And then on Thursdays, head down to Bob's Java Jive for the mic there, and
Mm-hmm.
that might be our Tacoma activities for the week. I feel like last week we were like, let's go. We're gonna go do something.
Yeah, and then we didn't really
I don't
think
remember
about
what it
we
was.
wanted to do. Well, I think we just said we were going to do something, but we didn't think about like what.
It was just something. It wasn't a
Yeah, I don't think it
particular
was.
activity we missed out on.
I don't
'cause the
think it
week
was
has passed.
something specific, but if I see something interesting, I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
And
well, we might have to make a snowman or something with the remnants of the.
and the
snow.
remnants, it's going to be hard to scrounge them up,
Yeah,
but
right.
he-
Make a tiny snowman.
he won't last very long.
No.
But no, certainly not. But if we'll find something, I'll let you know.
Sounds good.
All right.
Well, so I guess we'll say goodbye to the Grit Cityans and
And the Gritizens.
see y'all next week.
Yeah, see ya.